And then if that is weird, I can try saying I'm Hannah, this is Beck, so you've got both options. So I'm Hannah and
I'm Beck.
And we run Jukes. It's a kids apparel business. Well, predominantly kids, a little bit adults. The reason we reached out to Coast was that Jukes, previously Jukes and Duchesses Apparel, had been running for about 6 years, and we'd hit a point where we really needed to give it a little bit of fresh life. We had naturally evolved from just doing kids to then sort of dipping our toes into adults, and it never felt right putting Jukes and Duchesses Apparel in its logo that it used to be and in its messaging on the adult clothing. So when we were thinking, we know we need to do a whole refresh, we thought Coast would be the best place to go. I'd had a bit of experience with Coast, being in the Coffs area, had seen some of the previous work, was very impressed always with the quality and I'd say the detail, and I'd say how perfectly the branding always seemed to match and really suit the product or the service or whatever it was that they were working with.
Yeah, and Coast is such a fun brand, and we just thought that really aligned with our brand as well, being a fun children's wear clothing brand.
The team at Coast were great. So Beck and I have quite different styles when it comes to making decisions. I'm pretty fast, and I'd say Beck's a little bit more considered. So we had to factor that into like how this whole, because giving the brand a refresh and a new look, possibly a new name, wasn't something that we could do overnight. So the team were amazing at working with both Beck and my needs with the whole process. They sat us down, we sort of went through what needed to happen in terms of consultation, the look we were after, where we were thinking of taking the brand, and what sort of imagery and icons suited that, as well as I think making sure we were feeling like we were part of the process and we were able to give feedback at many points in the process, so that at no point were we surprised or thinking that was not at all what we were after. It was always sort of exactly where we felt like it needed to go. Because we were sort of thinking as a whole, from children's to adults, we really had to think about where we're going to position ourselves as a brand in the retail space. And I think it was far more involved than just a simple logo refresh. We actually eventually changed the name, as well as changed the identity to help us position ourselves to make sure we were still a premium brand, a fun brand, but something that really spoke to children and to adults.
Yeah, absolutely. The team were really good at helping us decide where we wanted to go, the direction of our brand, and it was really helpful sitting down over a few sessions to nut that out with them. We had a lot of ideas, a few different directions we were thinking about, so when we sat down with Coast, it was really helpful to have those sessions where they showed us the different logos, different fonts.
So like how it would look on a clothing tag, how it would look in big format signage, on our website, on our socials, all the different touch points of the brand. So we got to see, it in real life before we actually had locked anything in, which again was great with the process because we could make sure that it was really going to work. So being Jukes and Duchesses Apparel to begin with, we actually decided to drop the and Duchesses Apparel and just call it Jukes. And Jukes, the brand, is its full name. It felt like the right direction, and that's such a natural evolution with the name. And it really did, it elevated our brand, I think, and it helped us feel like we were being taken a little bit more seriously, particularly in the adult space. We are a premium brand, we're ethical. It gave us a great amount of confidence when we were rolling it out, and just really elevated us into that sort of premium space. Branding is everything. So you 100% have to invest in your brand. If anyone is sitting on the fence about whether or not to do it, I'd say do it. Because you have to remember your target audience or your customers are going to take everything about who you are from that that branding experience. And if they don't have a great experience, or your branding is not professional, or it's not really communicating who you are, then you've lost your customers. You know, you sort of get one chance to impress these days. There's so many different touch points and different ways that people can see you. So your branding has to be like on point in every area too, you know, with all of your channels.
We really valued Coast giving us guidance throughout the whole process. We had a few options to go for with our brand, and they really helped us focus on what we really wanted for our brand and helped us clarify that really well.
And it was just really easy.
Yeah,
really,
so easy.
Yeah,
so easy.
It's very straightforward, very simple. Nailed it.
Yeah. We would absolutely work with Coast again. Would recommend Coast to anyone who wants to change their branding, to start their branding, the brand journey. We found it so straightforward and easy working with them, and they really nailed what we wanted for our brand.
We actually have worked with Coast again too. Didn't we? We worked with you again with the postcards.
Oh,
like almost
true.
immediately.
Yeah. Is that enough?
Love it.
I feel like you've got lots of things to work in.